sponsored by the Canadian Food Innovation Network and partners. We are a national not-for-profit, member-based organization that stimulates transformative and transferable innovation across Canada, especially in the food sector. We provide funding, connect innovators with technology service providers, subject matter experts, academia, research organizations, food quality labs, manufacturing and co-packing facilities, distributors, retailers, and food service. But we also broker partnerships and increase innovation capacity across the country. We do all of this with a mix of human and digital capabilities. Our regional innovation directors are the link with the service providers across the country, while Yodel, our digital online membership platform, hosts a virtual community of innovators and resources. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Russ Erickson, Vice President of Investments and Partnerships at Alberta Machine Intelligence Institute. Russ leads a team that works with clients across industries, and he's going to share insights and obstacles and opportunities for the adoption of artificial intelligence in the industry. Welcome, Russ, to CFIN.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Nestor.
Can you please share with our audience who you are, what is that you do at the Alberta Machine Intelligence Institute?
Sure, sounds good. I'll start with the AMII part. So AMII is as you say, the Alberta Machine Intelligence Institute. We are, as you might imagine, Alberta-based. We are a nonprofit research institute. We drive world-leading AI research, and we translate that research into scientific breakthroughs and industry adoption and commercial applications. So we, on one side of our institute, we are very focused on fundamental AI research, primarily at our affiliate institutes such as the University of Alberta, UBC, SFU, others, where we have funded chairs that drive that research. And then on the business side, we do help organizations translate that world-leading research into real world application and deliver value. AMII is one of the pillars of the Pan-Canadian AI strategy. So the federal government initiative that started in 2017 runs now through 2027, and that's really all about leveraging it. Like, we have a very strong AI base in Canada, and that was about putting a strategy behind it and driving it forward in a coherent fashion to drive that research, drive that commercialization, and maintain our leadership in Canada in this area. We have three of the world's leading AI research institutes right here in Canada.
You're in beautiful Edmonton today.
I am in beautiful Edmonton today. The sun is shining, as you can kind of see behind me here. That's where our headquarters is. We have a really long-standing relationship with the University of Alberta. The U of A is where AI research started in this province 20+ years ago, back in 2002. And we have a really strong research group here. So that's at the U of A, and then here at the Institute, the nonprofit institute, we're really all about, again, connecting that research to real world problems and providing practical guidance. I joined AMII about a year and a half ago to lead the kind of the commercial partnerships team. I come out of the tech sector in Alberta. I've spent most of my career in global distribution, marketing, sales, management, kind of strategic partnerships in that area, and really just I've been aware through a lot of that work of the importance of AI in Alberta, the strength of AI in Alberta. When AMII was brought into being as a nonprofit institute back in 2017, it was keenly aware of what was going on, and when this opportunity to join the organization and really have an impact on kind of our economy from that perspective, I just had to jump at it. So it's a great team here at AMII. We're up to about 80 people, including all of our research scientists that and people that work on projects and applying that great research.
I share your enthusiasm, Ross, for AI and the applications of AI. I'm very passionate about that too. I can sense that from you as well. Can you share some of the applications of AI in the industry and the food sector, and maybe share some of the name of companies and successful partnerships that have adopted AI in Canada?
Sure. I mean, AI it impacts all industries. There's opportunities for all industries to adopt AI, and that's in the day-to-day industrial applications. You can have AI can really have a domino effect in operations. You can impact business operations. There's a lot of opportunities within those operations for things like supply chain optimization, for using data to be able to improve food production processes, to apply automations that will reduce a lot of kind of what would be otherwise redundant work, and minimize errors in that process, increase safety standards, everything down to food delivery. Like there's a heavy AI component in food delivery, even for sure these days, and service quality. I mean, the other side of that is that's all, that's kind of that's the table stakes almost in most industries, is that you have to be using AI at that operational level to be able to compete in today's day and age. The real breakthrough opportunity, I think, is in where can you innovate? Where can you build unique value within your products and within your organization? A good example I can think of. I'm not going to name companies but on this, but I can think of organizations that are using AI to in their kind of ingredient selection process, in terms of building new food products, to predict what taste profiles you can get out of different ingredient combinations.
Mhm.
And you end up with some very interesting and unique ingredient combinations that people never would have thought of, to get to the taste profiles you're looking at, that are going to deliver kind of unique and things that taste good but are also efficient to produce. Also lower, you can do things like lower emissions in those production processes, etc. There's a lot of work with AI going on in terms of understanding, discovering, manipulating proteins, like base proteins. We actually have a project with the National Research Council around this area right now, to do a lot of, it's very fundamental research in that area, looking for commercial application in the future. But you have to have that fundamental research in order to build
Of
the
course.
expertise and the knowledge to put it into commercial application. So there's just so many opportunities in all industries, including the food industry. And the food industry, I think, is an early adopter in that space. So
At CFIN, our members are innovators, essentially, from the food industry, people that want to introduce new technology, that are passionate about revolutionizing and disrupting the way we do things in the food sector. But there are also members of CFIN that are service providers and researchers, academics, and students as well. The common denominator, I would say, is the passion for innovation and to solve problems of the food that affect the food sector with innovation. So, can you give us some insights on what possible uses of AI you see in the future to solve some of these food sector challenges?
yeah, I mean, there's so many opportunities in the food sector that we can solve. So AI has an opportunity to, I mean, it is really one of the most important technologies of our generation, without question. Um, the opportunities are in things like, how do we address things like, on a global level, food insecurity, climate change, supply chain issues, for example. All of those things have an effect all the way through the system. AI is kind of in the beginning stages of being used in areas like field management, where you're looking at weed management, you're looking at weed identification using machine vision, so that you can really reduce the amount of, it might be chemical, might be it's all about optimizing your inputs so that you can increase your outputs, right? In that area. It can be used to, again, identify, the exact amount of, using sensors, because there's sensors on everything these days. So that provides the data sources, but identify, the proper amount of water, fertilizer within this square foot of soil, to really optimize your crop production. Food preservation, another big area, in terms of, factors like your temperature, your pressure, your number of days for preservation, all of these input factors, that typically humans on their own have a hard time doing those calculations, or it takes very specialized expertise to be able to manage those systems, where you can now build AI agents to really automate a lot of that work, make it much more efficient and much more productive. And I think that's really what we, in the productivity is and output is the key thing, right? We have a really interesting project that we are undertaking with New Harvest, with the support of the Schmidt Futures Foundation as well. For example, it's a research project where in the field of cellular agriculture. So that's about, producing animal products from cell cultures, rather than husbandry. So that's, again, reducing impact on climate, improving outputs along the way. Where the whole objective of that is to provide some of the basis on which other organizations can build on this research to commercialize great applications in the sector. It's unique. All of the research we're doing here will be public. A lot of the things that happen in the cellular agriculture industry are done in the labs of large large companies, and they hold that close. And so this is really about democratizing that knowledge and building out some opportunities for organizations to build on in that area. So
fantastic. We know that introduction of technology doesn't come cheap, usually, and it comes with challenges, whether it's AI or automation, robotics, you name it. What are some of the biggest obstacles that food companies or industry in general face when it comes to adopting and implementing AI into their businesses?
Well, there's two really big things out there that you have to consider when you're wanting to look at these opportunities. Certainly, access to the talent to do the work is absolutely one of the barriers. We're better situated here in Canada than many other places in the world, and that we do have a good, strong base. That said, there is more demand for those people than there are people in that space. We're doing a lot of work, both the provincial government. Again, that Pan-Canadian AI strategy is all about building, driving the research. Part of that is also about talent creation. When you're doing that, which is important. The other big issue is data. In order to build and train machine learning models, you need lots and lots of data, and that data needs to be clean. It needs to be clear. It needs to be applicable in the space. So everything from having enough data to making sure that your data set is actually appropriate to the application and doesn't have any inherent biases in it. For example, those are the key elements. There's also a bit of I would say there's a relatively limited understanding across the kind of the management leadership of organization of companies across all sectors, really around the possibilities, the opportunities there, and also the limitations. Like what should AI do? What can AI do? What shouldn't you think about AI for? I think that we're almost into that hype cycle of AI, given how much it's being talked about right now, which really creates some unrealistic expectations in some cases. But that said, there is a lot of opportunity. It's a matter of picking your best opportunities and focusing and finding the talent to do it, and making sure you've actually got the data available to do it. I mean, the food sector is actually really interesting because there is, right from crop production all the way through to all the way through to things on the grocery shelves. There is just a ton of sensors. There is a ton of data that is available and has been available for a very long time in that area. The trick is obviously going to be making sure that it is actually clean, like it's data that you can use in a machine learning environment. So it's we do work with our client organizations to help identify those opportunities, help focus on the most important, the high value opportunities, and prove out those opportunities. So we do that through kind of advisory and training, and we do that through workshopping, and then we help organizations put hands on keyboards and access the talent they need to do the work. So
you've been close to the pains and the obstacles and the challenges. You've been in the trenches there.
Absolutely, that is where we live, is in the trenches of talent development and of applying that talent to the real world problems in front of organizations.
Fascinating. That's the way to go. I love that. Before we close today, is there anything else you like to add for CFIN members? Any recommendations? Any final thoughts? Any things you want to promote today?
Well, I absolutely have to bring up Upper Bound. Upper Bound is AMII's AI conference. It's essentially the largest convening of world-leading AI researchers and industry innovators in Canada for sure this year. May 23rd to 26th in Edmonton. Tickets available still. There will be live streaming many of the sessions within that context. So if you can't get to Edmonton, there's an opportunity to at least learn something from the sessions that are going on. So 4 days of something for everybody, from your highest level academic researcher all the way through to people that are just trying to explore opportunities and understand more about what's possible. Upperbound.ai for more information and to buy a ticket. We would love to see you in Edmonton in 2 weeks' time. So.
Fantastic. Thank you, Russ. This has been great. Super informative, super entertaining, and very, very insightful for me. I'm pretty sure for our members as well. So, folks, you heard it from the expert. To wrap up, my takeaways from this conversation with Russ for CFIN members is the biggest obstacle to AI adoption is the access to technical talent and specialists and resources. So you want to look for that. AI presents huge opportunities for process improvement and innovation across all industries. Leaders need to educate themselves and on the possibilities and the limitations of AI and the responsible applications of AI in the industry. Canada has a strong foundation thanks to several years of investment at both the federal and provincial levels. We are home to the world's top AI research institute. However, government cannot take the foot off the gas. We need to continue to invest in talent development, in fundamental and applied research, and drive a clear, rational conversation around responsible AI and governance in a global context. Thank you very much, everyone. I will see you in our next explainer. Thanks. Bye now.
Thank you, Nestor. Very nice to talk to you today.